This guy yesterday just squatted 1,100, I think, 500 kilos, and he squatted in a knee wrap and sleeves, and he's in his 50s. I'm a bodybuilder. I think I squatted like 275 at like 12 or 13.
That's insane.
You know, bodybuilding, I usually train with partners. Other than that, it was between the fact that it was me by myself doing it. I don't know. It was just, it hooked me.
Yeah.
There was just something about it that if I was having a good day, bad day, whatever, it was going to make it better. I wanted to bodybuild at first. Loved going heavy on everything, dumbbells, bench, whatever. And somebody told me, they were like, you need to get into powerlifting. I'm like, Finally met somebody that he competed and stuff. He showed me the ropes and did my first meet, and I was hooked. I was back in it fully 100%, training 5 days a week. I remember like one of my coaches telling me, he goes, you're going to be a great squatter. And I didn't think anything of it, just, you know, whatever.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Opinionated Off Topic. Today I'm with Carlos Mojica, co-founder, co-owner of Opinionated Media. I'm Cam. We got Vincent Hernandez on the podcast today. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check us out. We're everywhere where you get your podcast, audio platforms, on the YouTube. Also, make sure you guys go follow the guy, Strong Like Ox, on the Instagram. Got Albert behind the scenes as well, Toga Media. But today, we're going to get into a long overdue episode. Albert has told us about you a
We've
lot.
heard so much about you. This is the first time we're meeting you.
Yeah, and even just like the content, kind of like seeing the journey, because I think Bert's been working with you for what, like 2-3 years now?
I was going to say about 2 years, right?
Yeah. So
It's about 2 years now.
yeah, so it's been a minute since he's been working with you. So he set it up and finally excited to talk to you, see, you know, what you've been doing, not only as like a content creator and getting into content creation, but also, you know, achieving your goal of squatting, what, 900 pounds or 1,000?
The goal, I mean, 1,000, yeah, but there's always more. But right now the goal is 1,000, yeah.
Jeez, bro, I couldn't even imagine, bro. My back's screaming when I put four plates on the bar. So
What's the record?
There's really no records. So, I mean, I don't know how it depends.
Does it go by like weight of like the
it goes
person?
by body weight, class. It goes by federations and stuff. I think I really don't know if there's a top end right now. I mean, obviously there's always more weight to go. So, I mean, there's more to do, but I think there's a couple guys right now doing over 1,000 easy. And
jeez.
Easy?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, then you got tested and untested.
Exactly.
So that makes a huge difference as well.
It's tested like when they test you for...
Yeah, so like if...
Like natural?
Natural versus not natural.
Gotcha.
Is there people who aren't natural that work around the testing?
They've in the past there has been, and I'm sure there is. There's a lot of politics game and all that, and they kind of cover up some stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there is people that try to do it. But
how much of a, this is probably like just a tidbit question, but like how much of a jump is there between like a natural person and an unnatural person, like that you've seen?
That depends on the genetics, really.
Okay.
Like everybody talks about genetics on everything, but it really is about genetics. You know, both of y'all could be doing the same stuff or whatever, and he could add, you know, to his squat example, he could add 200 pounds to it compared to his natural, and you could do only 50 pounds more. It just really depends on the genetics and all that.
I mean, I've seen someone add 100 pounds to their squat in 12 weeks from like 620 to like almost 750. And I've seen someone jump from, it's just crazy.
That's crazy.
But he had good genetics, and the motherfucker was just, he like bulked up huge.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, like right now, ideally the best powerlifter in the world right now is out of San Antonio, Jesus. And he's hitting a grand, like in his prep, he'll be 6 weeks out and he starts hitting a grand every single week. Bro. And I'm like, and not in wraps either. I compete in wraps. My old knees cannot do the sleeves. But
I don't understand like just like the wear and tear on the body. You know,
just the tension you're putting on not only your knees but your back, the top of your back, your lower back, like everything.
There's still powerlifters that have been doing it for 30 years that are still. I mean, this guy yesterday just squatted 1,100, I think, 500 kilos. And he squatted in a knee wrap and sleeves, and he's in his 50s.
That's insane.
I mean,
bro.
You look at the guy; he's not natural, but still, that just shows like genetics.
Yeah,
you know, somebody who's in their 50s who has been doing the sport for 30 years. Yeah, he's gonna have wear and tear in his body, but that's where the extra supplements come in, I guess, to help him. But he's lifting better than he has ever lifted, and he's in his 50s, so it's crazy.
I mean,
crazy.
I've said it before on the podcast. I'm for steroids. Go ahead, take them. Dude, I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like. I'm a baseball player. I played baseball. Like, I don't care if somebody takes steroids. Obviously, I mean, you can like miss a ball until hit a home run or whatnot. So I get it, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to see somebody hit that 500-foot home run that we've never seen before. Like somebody squat 2,000 pounds. Like, I'm just trying to see that stuff. Like, I'm for steroids.
Look with baseball, like that's the prime example. You always hear with baseball and doping and home runs and Barry Bonds and all that stuff, but they're playing 160 something games. You know,
that's regular season,
and that's regular season. Not talking about preseason, and then you got an extra 2 months of postseason or a month or whatever it is. I mean, those guys, and then on top of that, you want to see your favorite athletes play. You want to see
Ohtani,
Mookie Betts out there and Ohtani every single night when you go play. You know, you don't want to save your money up and think I'm going to go watch the Dodgers play in next month, and then Ohtani's sitting out because he's got some shoulder issues.
Yeah, that's how I feel about basketball too. Because like, if LeBron doesn't retire, it's like I've never seen LeBron play, and I was telling my girl, I was like, I got to see LeBron play next season because you just never know. But it's like
I was just telling
load
my wife
management and things like that. It's like you go to because I went to a Warriors game a couple of years ago. And like Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, everyone was out, and it was just like
It's not fun.
It's like, come on, of course, you know.
I'm a big LeBron fan, so it's like I've been wanting to see him play, and him with San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas all in the same area. I mean, you have 10 chances a year to see him, but it's finally to the point where it's like 20. What is he? 20th.
This
year
would be
now?
his like 22nd year, 21st, 22nd, and he's still dropping like 26,
exactly.
26,
so
8,
like,
and 8.
You know that window's closing though, so it's like.
Yeah.
You know, do I go spend the money to go watch the Lakers?
And that's the hard part too. Is like, since it is, we don't know if he's gonna be on the Lakers after this season, but like since they are playing the Lakers, there go the ticket prices up. Now you include LeBron on the Lakers, there go the ticket prices up even more. So it's like it's hard for people to go see like some of their favorite players play because typically their favorite player plays on a good team, and when a good team comes to town, the ticket prices go up.
Exactly. Yeah. That was my biggest thing too. Whatever team too, he's a free agent. So if he goes wherever he goes, he can go to Charlotte. Those prices are going to go right up because it's LeBron. And it's like, he's in his 22nd year, but he's still competing like he was in his 12th year.
And they're gonna do it as in like this is his last year at this because we don't know when his last year is going to be. So like this could be his last year. So we're gonna bump up those prices.
That's how it was with Kobe's final year. I remember everybody was trying to get tickets to go to see Kobe's final year, and it was just crazy prices.
Yeah. It's like Messi when he came here.
Yeah.
Went to MLS. Those tickets were insane.
$1,000 just for like nosebleeds.
Oh, yeah.
I know people who were messaging me. I had a couple people that wanted to come fly in and watch it, and they were like, "Dude, is it worth? Like, is there gonna be?" It's like, dude, there's no hotels. There's no. Like, it's everything.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're in a big city like Houston. Like Austin is gonna get. I mean,
and there's like a ton of things going on. Like Alabama or Georgia plays Texas here this upcoming season, and it's the same weekend as the F1 race. So like, there's people that are coming down for that Georgia game from like Georgia that are having to stay in like Waco and like San Antonio just to be able to go to the game because
the
F1
releases their tickets like months in advance, about a year in advance for the race here. Well, every race.
Yeah.
So the tickets are already bought up for F1. People they already know that they're gonna go, and then you can book your stay up to like 6 months out in advance.
Yeah.
The schedules for football don't come out until about 3 months before the season.
Yeah. And longer than that, but they don't release like times. And
like all of that.
Like they'll put the opponents out, but then like you're saying, like the tradition, the schedule and
with
stuff
everything
like that.
now going on, they change up times a lot.
Yeah.
They say,
it'll be
Georgia,
like TBD,
Georgia, Texas.
TBA,
it was a 11 o'clock game. We're gonna throw that down to prime time ESPN.
Yeah.
So now you got to change everything up.
And I mean, prime example we're talking about right now. This weekend in College Station, A&M is still playing postseason baseball. They're hosting Oregon, but there's what's the tournament going on right now? CONCACAF. Is that going on right now? Yeah. There's a big soccer match going on at Kyle Field at the same time as they're playing baseball.
Perfect example. Next week, I think, or a couple of weeks, we're going to see George Strait in College Station.
Yeah, I did see that. That's going to be crazy.
We got our tickets, and we're trying to get a hotel, and it's like, there's nothing. There's 0 hotels.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the problem. You have the biggest country artist playing in College Station.
Yeah, in College Station, like, you know it's going to be.
Small town, you're not going to have, everything's booked. I mean, we're literally driving back to Hutto. We're going to, just to stay at my brother's because it's You have no option.
Yeah.
So
But we got off topic a little bit, but it's okay. It's always fun when you have like conversations like that. But just give us a little backstory. Basically, where the journey started for Ox.
Okay, so Austinite. I've been in the area my whole life. Well, the Hill Country, but pretty much Austin. I'm 30 years old. I'm a butcher for my day job, and I guess at night I'm a power lifter. I guess not. That's my hobby, I guess, of choice.
Yeah.
Sports nut. Played sports my whole life and grew up around it. Baseball, basketball, football, track, the whole works. Pretty much everything except golf and tennis, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, man, not too much to me. Simple person. Yeah.
So since you played, I'm assuming football 4 years because where you're from is a big football town because it's a small town. At the time it was, but it's a small town and like football. That was the thing. So was it there in like middle school, high school is kind of where you found your passion for like also bodybuilding, or was it like afterwards?
Yeah. So number one, this is Texas. So Texas is king. Football's king in Texas. So you're playing at either Pop Warner, you're coming up to middle school. I didn't start till middle school, but did that. And that's where I got introduced to weights in 6th grade. And so they were showing us how to work out, and we're working out twice a week and nothing crazy. It was 7th grade football, but I squatted. I remember we did maxes. They were like, oh, we're going to just get a number for y'all. And we were 12, 13 years old. And I squatted. I think I squatted like 275 at like 12 or 13.
That's insane.
And I didn't think it was, it was not great form. It was 12-year-olds. I mean, this was 15, 20 years ago. So the coaches didn't know what they know now and stuff. And I remember like one of my coaches telling me, he goes, you're going to be a great squatter. And I didn't think anything of it. Just, whatever. So then I really looked forward to working out. Then we'd go, football and stuff, and just kind of stuck with me out of high school. And when I got out of high school, you didn't have anything to train for. You're not doing sports anymore. You're just kind of go, I'm going to, don't have to work out every single day anymore. Well, then you start putting on weight or whatever, so like get back into the gym. And so I wanted to bodybuild at first, loved going heavy on everything, dumbbells, bench, whatever. And somebody told me, they were like, you need to get into powerlifting. And I'm like, it wasn't as big as it is now. There was a couple meets here and there and stuff, and finally met somebody that he competed and stuff. He showed me the ropes and did my first meet, and I was hooked. I was back in it fully 100%, training 5 days a week. And then COVID happened, and then took a little hiccup on there, but it's been full go for the past 5 years, really.
What was it about? Like, what was it that reared you back into it?
That I didn't need it. Well, number one, I didn't need to rely on somebody else, like a team sport or, bodybuilding. I usually train with partners and stuff, and I didn't really need anybody. I just could, hey, can you spot me real quick? Boom. Okay, that's the smallest amount of time I had to have somebody around, and other than that, it was between the fact that it was me by myself doing it. It's just, I don't know. It hooked me. Yeah. There was just something about it that if I was having a good day, bad day, whatever, it was going to make it better. So.
Yeah, and just being able to probably get that like natural escape, like already working out, but then like challenging yourself to achieve the unthinkable really with bodybuilding and things like that.
Yeah,
too.
it was very therapeutic, and it was almost an excitement because it's like I'm squatting what I think is lightweight, 400 or 500 pounds, and then you got these people over here watching like, dude, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, like that's people, like some people like because I was telling them like playing sports in college, like once I got over 400 pounds, like I was good, like no reason to push it, but it's like we're just, like, I'm just warming up. Like, this is why warm up set. It's like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah. So there was an excitement for that. It was just, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna go up 90 more pounds. I'm gonna go put a plate on, and it's like, oh snap, it might have been a little too much, but that was cool. It was, people were like, dude, that was good. You're squatting 7, whatever. And just the fact that there's more weight to do, it's an exciting adrenaline rush type of deal. I don't like to go ride on roller coasters or go fast in cars, but put 800 pounds on that bar. I was like,
nah, for sure. And it's just like a sense of accomplishment because it's like most people can't, like there's probably a really small percentage of people that are even lifting that kind of weight, let alone like moving that, So
I feel like it's less than 0.5%.
Yeah, it's probably very low because most people aren't even like relatively like strong in general. So to be able to just like do, over 500 pounds. Like I remember like Bert squatted, I think, I don't know, might misquote him, but I remember when we were in high school, he was like 505, right?
Yeah, that was in like sleeves, or not sleeves. That was in wraps.
Yeah, so it's like when he did this, we were like 17, 18 years old. Like the fact that he was doing that, I was like,
monstrous.
bro, like that's crazy. Like, and like just being naturally strong too. I feel like how much did that like help you want to like continue to do?
It was a huge boost. Just the fact, like when I came to Big Tex and started training, I literally felt like I came from a puddle or like a lake or something to an ocean. It was a day and night difference. I mean, you're seeing guys there that are pro bodybuilders, you're seeing pro powerlifting athletes. So it's like, I was timid. I was back. I was like, nah. But everybody's like, dude, you're like literally doing what they're doing. And I didn't see it that way just because of the whole pond, ocean type deal. So it was just, and the fact that they were not natural, and it was a huge boost. I was like, well, you got an advantage. I don't, and I'm doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it was a big boost.
It's got to feel good too.
Yeah.
And it's got to help the confidence out a lot too.
Yeah.
I think walking into Big Tex is intimidating because they got this wall of like all their professional.
It's like it's very like before a Gold's Gym, like if they want to sponsor us in the future, I'm sorry, but before they like shit the bed, like I think, because my dad was like I started working out at like 15, like whatever, and I was like super weak. I couldn't even do 95 pounds on the bar. My dad was like unacceptable. Like we went to the gym and he like got me right, and the next summer I was
unacceptable.
the next summer I was like able to like do 2 plates, but he started working out at World Gym, which became Gold's Gym. And like if you know about Gold's Gym, like the Mecca, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, all those guys in California, Venice Beach and Muscle Beach, like I like going to a gym or like watching videos at those gyms. And then I went to Big Tex for one time, and I was just like, it wasn't like intimidating for me, but I was just like, this is the real deal. Like, there's no bullshit in here. Like,
it's like that grunge feeling, like that. You know, people are in there to like, you don't have a bunch of SARM goblins and like people just bullshitting, stealing like a bunch of racks and like
goblins.
Yeah. But like,
That's funny.
Yeah, you know, people are in there like putting in actual work.
Yeah,
and
the
like
smelling salts, getting right.
no AC.
Yeah,
just
no
a big-ass
AC,
fan.
like old school cutoffs, like like when that vibe, and you're like, it's here to put in some work.
When I started working out again at 22, 23, whatever age it was, that's when my goal was to go to Gold's. That was because I was doing a lot of bodybuilding stuff. I was real big into the bodybuilding stuff. I just never had any plans to get on stage. I was like, I'm not putting on the banana hammock and get on stage. Nothing against it, but not doing it. But I wanted to look like that. I wanted to look just massive and stuff. And so I wanted to go to Gold's. And when I got to Gold's, I was like, man, this is just a step up from Lifetime. Like it's not, again, sorry Gold's, but they've had a bad reputation in the past few years. So after that, it was like things started shifting into the powerlifting mindset, and moved out here, Big Tex and stuff. And it was, like I said, I was intimidated the first 6 months I was there because I was just as big as those guys, just as strong as them, but the training mindset was different. Like you would see some guy like you'd literally watch him have his headphones in, blared, he'll hit the salt, and he's just bloodshot. Like nothing else matters to that guy for the next 30 seconds, but squatting 700 pounds or pulling 800 pounds. And that was the separating factor with Big Tex compared to like Gold's or whatever else is out here. And that's what hooked me too.
And they got their little water gallons, and they got their little notebook, and going back and writing the percentages, and taking it all serious. It
was intimidating, but it was that step that you needed to, like in my shoes, it was that next step to elevate my game and stuff.
What has been some of the challenges that you've been through, like competing at a high level and pushing your body to the limit?
The mindset. I'm my biggest critic. So even I've been doing this for 5 years and squatting well in the 8s, and with goals of 1,000. I'm my biggest critic. So I'll have a bad squat day. Say I'm supposed to hit that weight. I want to sort of hit it for like 5 or 6. I hit it for 3, and I'm like, I'm in my head. But knowing that I didn't sleep well the night before, I didn't get all my meals in the day before, or I didn't eat much that day because of work or whatever, BS is going on. Knowing all that, I'm still going to start doubting everything. And I'm very, very hard on myself. My wife's always telling me, she's like, you need to stop. Like, you need to enjoy it, because there's some people that are doing 400 pounds less than you on everything, but they're happy. They're coming in, they're doing 200, 300 pounds, and then they're going home and they're happy they did that. So that is definitely the biggest challenge for me, doing this whole powerlifting thing, because I'm just very hard on myself, and I expect myself to be at a. I hear it from my coach, I hear it from family, I hear it from people that have known me for the past 5 years. They're like, you're on another level. You just need to you need to realize that, and that's been my biggest thing, is like trying to hold myself accountable up there without holding myself accountable up there, without beating myself up
Too
for
much
bad
pressure
workouts
and all that.
Exactly, the pressure things.
We're always our own biggest critic, or self-doubt the most within ourselves. But eventually, once you realize, and it's something that I was working on, like everybody's gonna have a bad day. It's just, you're a sports guy. Mike Trout isn't going to go up there and hit a home run every time. He's not even going to get a hit every time. Somebody say some days he strikes out.
Yeah.
But you got to be okay with like understanding like it just wasn't my day.
Yeah. As I'm getting older into this thing, I just hit 30, so I'm like, hopefully that mature thing will pop in. But I need to start doing that going forward.
It's hard when you're a competitor though, and like you're competing because you want to be the best.
Yeah.
And like you're like, man, I see him right there, like. He's doing 50 more pounds than me. Why isn't that me? Like you just that's just what comes with like the game.
When I started out doing this, I was just happy to have a sport that I was training for again, and being able to go do a competition or this and that. Because as adults, there's really not. I mean, you can do like adult league softball or a bowling club or something, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's like they're gonna tell you, hey, you can play football at 35. You know,
just know you can't like get 11 on 11 helmet. Like it's impossible to do that.
And those still feel like a rec league.
Yeah. It was scratching that itch for me. And as I started out, I was just happy. I was like, 500 pounds, that's great.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm good. 2 years in, it's like, okay, 800 pounds, I'm good. And about the last year and a half, it's just been like, no, that's not good. This is not good. And it's real negative. It's a toxic mindset, really. Yeah, for sure. Me,
do you feel
as
like
a competitor?
Do you feel like you're like plateauing, or like do you feel like you're?
No, because I'm gradually improving. Yeah. It's just little things that you just got to adjust. Yeah, it's just one of those adjustment periods where you got to take a step back and say, okay, look, I don't need to do a competition this year. I need to focus on my deadlift. I need to focus on getting my chest bigger or my bench up or this and that. It's one of those type of things where you just got to go back to the drawing board and you got to reevaluate some stuff and just fix the game plan type deal.
So what does your training program look like? Like what's a training program for you look like out of competition and in competition?
So in competition, an average prep's like 12 to 15 weeks before competition. For me, it's like 20 to 10. 20 weeks to 10 out. I do 20-week preps. I don't know why. It's what my coach wants to do. For those 10 weeks, it's a lot more volume because you don't want to. It's a pyramid. Getting to the competition, you want to be strongest. You want to be strongest at the competition time. You want to peak correctly. So that'll be a lot of volume work and a lot of just nothing really too exciting. You're just starting to ramp up the numbers. The last 10 weeks, it's like, okay, we're going to go heavy, a lot of short, 5 reps, short 3 reps, singles, doubles, stuff like that. That's a prep. At a prep, like what I'm doing right now, it's a lot of just bodybuilding stuff. Your body can't squat 800 pounds 52 weeks a year. It can't, you got to be able to sit back and say, I'm going to do 315 for 5 sets of 10. And you're going to do the bodybuilding style of training, a lot of volume. And just let the joints and everything else relax, as well as some people, me example, I gain weight during the prep. I just do. So that's my time to sit back and say, okay, I'm going to drop some weight. I'm going to not be 300 plus. I'm going to be 275, 280. And just give your body a chance to recover and all that before you get back into a prep. So at a prep, it's a lot of volume. It's a lot of bodybuilding style training. In prep, it's more short reps, 5s and 3s and 1s and stuff like that.
Do you gain weight because you have to lift more and you're eating more?
Some people think like that.
Yeah. Like how many during prep, how many calories?
You do eat more, yeah. You'll eat more because you need your body to recover.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a week. If you have a heavy deadlift, heavy squat, you're not doing everything in one day. You're doing squat on Monday, benching on Wednesday, and whatever else in between. The accessories and stuff like that. So you need the food. You need the more sleep. You need the more water and stuff like that. So yeah, that's usually where it's at. You tend to eat more during the prep. Therefore, you're going to probably gain a little bit more weight.
Yeah. So how do you keep yourself like healthy, making sure your body's right, like while you're in, no injuries happen while you're in going into a competition?
Well, my wife will say that I need to stretch more. I'm real bad at stretching, and that's as I'm getting older, I'm starting to add them into my routine and stuff. Really, it's a rough sport. I wouldn't say I'm healthy, but I'm healthy, but I'm not. Like, I don't know. My body hurts all the time and stuff, but somehow I find the motivation to go back and do it every day. So it's just one of those things, I guess, that comes with age. You just realize you're not 22 anymore, so you need to take more your multi and your fish oils and stuff compared to when you're younger. You have that mindset. I'm going to go to McDonald's and go train. So
yeah, I feel like the discipline aspect too of it is like got to be crazy because like not only are you probably having to eat like a ton of calories, but like a hydration standpoint too. Like make sure you're getting enough fluids, and then as you were saying, like working your day job and stuff like that, which is a question I wanted to ask you is like during your day job and like while you're in the prep, you're doing your 20 weeks, like how are you able to like maintain like working and then like still eating your meals and like getting your hydration in as well?
It's just one of those things that you've got to find times. Everybody's got 5-10 minutes here. You may not want to scarf a meal down, but there's a protein shake. Let me supplement this shake here. So it's a lot of shakes and a lot of, cause like I'm a butcher, so if you've been at H-E-B, majority of the H-E-Bs are set up with the same design. So the market's in the back. So it's not very close to the restroom. So when you're just having to drink a gallon of water, it's the hardest thing in the world, especially during like a cut week or something.
Yeah.
I usually have to do a water cut. And so that includes a lot of water building up to the meat. And so I've done it once or twice where I've had to do that, and you're drinking a gallon during the day, and you're literally going to the restroom every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like,
the worst.
Yeah, so I try to, now as I've gotten more experience, I try to request that week off, that no, I'm going to have to do a water cut. That way I'm not having to be going to the restroom left and right.
Yeah.
I'm at the house at least where I'm just, able to go to the restroom.
Able to just do that. Yeah.
So it can be rough for some people.
Yeah.
The discipline part comes in. It's like, I'm going to go take 5 minutes. Let me slam 2 protein shakes real quick and then get back to it, or eating your meals and stuff at lunch and after. And it's a lot harder, I think, during prep, just because your mindset, one is you got something else to focus on instead of just work, but also two, you got to now you have to make sure you're getting your meals in. You have to make sure you're getting your water in. Cause if you don't, like with the water and stuff, it's easy do you drink a gallon a day?
Yeah. Close.
Do you drink a gallon a day?
Close, yeah.
That's like the bare minimum that you should be doing.
Yeah, I'm about there. Yeah.
I was there like maybe a month ago. Then I started.
That's how
I just naturally stopped drinking as much. But we both have Stanleys. I think 3 Stanleys is a gallon.
3 Stanleys is a gallon.
And I drink about 2.5, 2 3/4.
Yeah. So it's hard for people to get a gallon in, but they can go drink everything else in the world, and they're getting more than a gallon. So. I noticed too, it's like one of those, when you don't get your hydration in, as simple as a gallon, if you go 2 days without it, you feel like, when powerlifting, you won't have the energy. It's a big energy source for powerlifting. As much as you don't think it is, it is. And it can make everything just move smoother.
Yeah.
Like if you have 2 gallons in a day or a gallon and a half, you're feeling a lot better. Your joints are not as
You're not lying.
Dry.
Especially like playing sports and stuff. Like when I was playing football in college, like I had a hamstring problem going in my sophomore year, and that was probably like where I didn't train or take like my nutrition as seriously. And then like I started drinking like 2 gallons like in recovery, just because like all the soft tissue, like little things, like your muscles is being like full of fluids is just important, and just having like that reserve in the tank too. Like as as you're training, I'm sure, which we'll get to, like I'm sure your workouts are like extremely long too. So like just being able to have that the energy surplus is in reserve is important. And I guess going into that, like when you are training, like how long are your workouts typically? Because I watched, I had to look him up on YouTube. His name's like Sam Sulik.
Sam Sulik.
Yeah, he has like a couple million subscribers, and I don't know if he's doing like strictly like strength competitions, but I know he does bodybuilding, and like he does like all his sets till failure, and he like his workouts are like 3-4 hours long. So I was like, are yours similar?
Is that the dude that you said that doesn't like cut his videos? Or
Yeah, they're
videos?
super raw.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about like he like eats, like gets in the car, like just shows him driving, goes to the gym, like no cuts. Like he just talks in between. He just films his whole workout / day, and his videos are like 3-4 hours long. He has like 3 million subs.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He is like the new. He's one of the bigger names in the past 2 years that's been in the fitness community. But the thing is, he doesn't compete, and he just works out. But he's just massive.
Yeah.
And these kids love him. I don't know. He's a cool kid. I mean,
Yeah, he's like
I'm sure
young. He's like 22 or 23. He's not like.
That's how Bradley was, right?
Yeah, Bradley was.
he
Bradley
didn't
was
compete,
like
right?
he competed a couple times when he was younger, but his was like strictly bodybuilding and just like looking lean and like crazy, like super low body fat. And then he did strength training and like competitions like Ox, and then got into more like content side and training people and stuff like that. So it's cool to see like the evolution too, because like there's people that like work out probably just as long as you, but it's like strictly for like bodybuilding showcasing competition. So they're doing like a ton of volume, but probably like way less weight, like an extremely strict diet, like, which not saying yours is strict, but like in different ways.
Yeah, that's like what Arnold or them were doing back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, for powerlifting, like it depends. If I'm in a prep takes a little bit more time because I've got more compound lifts to do, more on the bench, more on the squat, stuff like that. But right now, my bodybuilding stuff, I try to get in an hour and a half because with powerlifters, we'll squat and we'll take 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes break, and then squat again. And then you're talking about 7-8 sets of squats that you have to do. It's gonna take you an hour and a half.
An hour, yeah.
I mean, ask Bird. There's been times where we're deadlifting and it's like we've been here for an hour and he's now hitting his top set.
Well, then it doesn't help. Like you got your homies there, you start shooting the shit, and so like but that's just like the type of environment like the gyms we go to is like people, And,
No, for sure.
And so like, but it also it makes it more enjoyable because you're like, if you do have a bad set, at least you can like you got your homies like uplifting you and encouraging you, or like if they're like people will come and support. Like it's cool how like when he throws on like 700 on the bar, you got like people watching, and they just like
those videos of like people training in college and they got like everybody screaming at the sky. That's fire.
Not for real. And you got other people in the gym that are like, "Come on, Ox, like you got it." And so it's cool to see that.
That's been a big help with the whole mindset that I have. Is that I'll have a bad, I should have hit that for this much, and this is what blah blah blah. But then you got 4 of my buddies over here like, "Hey, dude, it's fine. You do something better tomorrow." And then you come in the next day and you kill that workout, and you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm completely better." So having the right environment around you has definitely been the biggest thing for powerlifting and stuff for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It helps me mindset get out of the gutter compared to if I didn't have that, it would be a lot worse. I'd be down and stuff for a couple of days about it. So.
Well, then it helps too. You got people that can actually spot you because you go to Golds now and try to throw like 700 on the bar, bro. You're gonna find maybe like one spot.
Maybe.
If you're
you
lucky.
might have to have like somebody get under you, 2 people on the side.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it would be impossible to find a spotter at Golds for.
I've actually sent my coach, because my coach is in LA, and so I've actually sent him videos and stuff of my squad. And he tells me, never have that person spot you again because they're spotting you like this or like that. Or
that's the worst when you like work out and like people don't like know how to spot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like.
Well, yeah, bro. Like at that point, like I mean, what was it last year? You had some dude or the lady on the Smith machine. She had like 3 or 4 plates on there, and she like died. She literally died, like because it crushed her neck. Yeah, y'all don't remember?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the only things I see was they push up and their legs.
Like her daughter literally watched her die, bro.
That's crazy,
which is wild.
Wait, so when you spot on squat, don't you get like behind him and put your arms underneath? Is that the right way?
Correct. Yeah, but then you also can have people like on the side.
Well, I know
of the
that
bar.
too. Yeah,
and then obviously like the safety bars. But when you're probably squatting weight like he is, I'm sure like you probably don't even have safety bars, right? Like you don't like, or do you?
Oh, yeah.
Because like I've seen like just like the traditional squat rack with like you just walk it out.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people squat on that and then they've dropped it or whatever the case may be, but it kind of just varies. I feel like too.
Yeah. I know when I'm like benching or something and I'm by myself, if the wife doesn't come with me or I don't have anybody there to spot, I'll throw the safeties on, whether it's on the rack or whether it's on the bench. And it's coming clutch. There's been times where I've gotten pinned with like 315 on me, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, there's one person in the gym, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, this is how it ends. I'm not gonna get out, and I'm screaming, music's blaring, and he's got his headphones on, and I'm just like, oh goodness. So he came in clutch and helped me, but no, it's. Those safeties have came in clutch plenty of times.
Well, and then like we filmed one time, and I almost dropped my I almost threw my camera because I don't know how much he had on the bar.
Because my coach wanted me to do a training block with no belt. So I can squat 500 pounds with no belt, but that belt plays a factor eventually. And so we were squatting 6, and it was 600 pounds with no belt.
Jeez.
And he was filming it. And I don't think I had a spotter because I had done it plenty of times.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with it. It went back down. I'm sitting under there with 600, and Bert's like, he threw his camera down, and he had to go help and stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, but luckily, he knows how to bail out of that, you know? And that's why, just, knowing your limitations and all that's so important because, at least he was able to, throw it back and then pause.
That's funny.
But no, at least he was able to throw the bar off his back and lunge himself forward. You know,
that's good that you meeting Bert and stuff. He has a background in powerlifting and he's also strong himself. So it is good that your cameraman knows what he's doing too. For situations
I was
that.
Bro, I literally thought I was about to witness you die today.
Yeah,
because of how long he sat in the hole. And I was like, bro, he's stuck. And it was 4 seconds, but that shit felt like it was an
eternity,
a minute.
Yeah.
So I guess talking about safety and things like that, when you're moving that kind of weight, have you had to deal with any catastrophic injuries or anything like that?
No.
Oh wow.
Not yet. I don't know if that's what or not, but
hey, we're gonna say it. We're gonna say it's what.
No.
Hey, look, I got a wooden chair over here.
Yeah, there we go.
Nothing major yet. And I plan not to. That's the goal. But you get beat up here and there. Right now I got a shoulder injury, and I don't even know what I did. It was just started aching one day, and it's my rotator cuff's all messed up right now. So it's just you get the messed up ankle, the tweaked knee, or your sciatic is acting up or something.
Yeah, mine's been bothering me for since I really probably last 2 years, 3 years. Yeah,
it's just one of those just little minor stuff that if you take care of them accordingly, will go away. But no, not some of the stuff I've seen in powerlifting. It's nothing major like that. So.
Yeah, that because moving that kind of weight, and I'm just thinking about all the joints and everything it takes to just move that kind of weight. And I guess what are the things outside of your hamstring, your glutes, and then having a strong back too? What are some of the other important factors of squatting that kind of weight, your feet strength, ankle,
my height?
Yeah,
being short helps.
Shout out Short Kings.
Yeah, my height has been the biggest thing because I'm great at squatting, but my deadlift is 300, 200 pounds less than my squat.
Okay,
and they're supposed to be pretty much even. So it's been one of those things what make up in the squat, I lose in the deadlift. My arms are short, and I got shorter arms compared to my legs and this and that. So just one of those things that's been my biggest thing is my height. Biggest help has been my height on squatting and stuff. But it's just readjusting on the other two stuff. It's a very technical sport. If anybody thinks, I can lay down, I can pick that up and this and that. But then that's the difference between no form and actual good form, and it could be 100 pounds or so. Be a big difference. So
Oh, dude, and you can have the raw strength to deadlift 500 pounds, but if your form's off, no shot.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's that minor difference between literally putting 20, 30 pounds onto your life.
I mean, what I can, because I haven't done it since high school, but hang snatching. I couldn't do, I forgot what I couldn't do, but I could take 5 pounds off of it and do it with ease. Yeah. But my form was wasn't good. So I couldn't get whatever it was. I can't remember what the weight was, but I couldn't get it because I didn't just and they have proper form.
I feel the same way. Like when I was cleaning in college, like I was doing like 225, 255 off of just raw strength, and then my like position coach would get like mad because he saw how strong I was in other areas, and he was like, you should be like cleaning 315, like maxing. And it's such an important like lift for like football and stuff like that. And then eventually like learning how to use your legs, and also just like what you're going back to, like flexibility, because like I couldn't get like my elbows and like wrists like back, you know, and just like learn how to like develop those other parts of
that's the
other
difference
ways to get strength.
Between now and I'm not going to speak for y'all's age, but I'm 30, so I've been out of school for about 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have the YouTube knowledge, the TikTok knowledge.
The way we were lifting in high school was
bad.
Just bruised. I remember.
Bro, don't even get me started. My powerlifting coach, bro, like he would write these workouts, and I literally would go in there and be like, I'm not doing that shit. Because I was like, bro, this is terrible. Like, do you want me to get hurt?
Then once you squatting like below parallel,
like touching your ankles and going like, what?
I remember maxing out for like football and stuff, and linemen, me and this other kid were always like neck and neck with squat, and we didn't have knee sleeves, wraps, nothing. We didn't have a belt, which we barely scraped it on, but we were like bending our backs, good morning it. And looking at it now, I'm like, for like 5 years after, my back was killing me. I was having other stuff. And then now everybody's like, how are you not having back issues? And I'm like, knock on wood, I don't have back issues at this weight, but I'm preparing for it. I'm doing accessories for my back. I'm doing accessories, stretches and stuff to keep all that. I'm doing massages, twice a month or once a month to help with all that stuff. So the knowledge these kids have now compared to when we were starting out is just
it's a lot different.
The knowledge and also the technology.
Yeah.
Especially for like kids that are grateful enough to like go to higher end like high schools, like Travis, Westlake, and like IMG, stuff like that. Like the technology they have compared to like Pflugerville High School.
Yeah.
I'm sure they still have the same weight room.
They do for sure. Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like even the weights, like it's really just about knowledge too. Like if you know what you're doing and like how to like teach like kids about nutrition. Like I was playing, ball with guys that were eating bowls of cereal during fall camp because the food was nasty, or like cinnamon rolls, and like then they're like, oh, I'm pulling my hamstring, blah blah. I'm like, yeah, bro, because you look at your plate and there's nothing, there's no greens on there, there's no meat, it's just like sugar, So just like learning all kind of stuff, hydration, like you're saying, and I'm curious, like how long does it take you to like warm up before you like work out? Like what's that look like?
So between like stretches and depends on if I have to do any band work or anything for any aches or pains or anything. Stretches, bands, and actual warm-ups with like, it's probably about an hour of warming up. Not including like the warm-up compound lifts. So if we're squatting, doing the bar, doing a plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, whatever. Before I actually get to work and set, it's about an hour.
Yeah, it makes about sense.
So you're doing all this stuff, taking your vitamins or supplements, doing light days. What does like your rest days look like? Like how much sleep do you get? How much hydration do you get? Do you stay off your feet? Do you just want to like sit down and just be in a chair all day? So like you're just not doing anything. I know you have work, so that kind of just hard to stay off the feet. But like, what are your rest days like entail?
So for the past few years, I've only trained like Monday through Friday. I've solely kept my weekends for family or just sleeping, or I work. I have to work on weekends and stuff. So I don't sleep a lot really through the week. With the training in there, training's 3-4 hours, and then work, and then by the time I get home, spend some time with the wife or parents, whatever, I'm only sleeping like 3-4 hours. That's a good night. So my off days, if my wife is closing at work and I don't have anything to do, I'm sleeping like 6 hours before I go to bed. Like it's just it's like a catch-up day type deal. But a lot of my days off, I'm a movie nut. I love watching movies, so I'll just throw movies on or documentaries.
Nice.
Or I'll play some video games or something, but it's mainly a lot of hanging out. I don't want to be on my feet. If I don't have to work that day or something, I don't want to get up and do anything.
I feel that.
It's just a hangout day, so
yeah.
Either that or just catch up on sleep.
Do you have any canes?
What's up?
Do you have any canes? Footwear?
Have you seen that shoe?
No.
So it's like it's like a active recovery shoe. I normally have them on. Don't have them on today.
Me too.
But
Canes, if you want to sponsor us.
yeah, if you want to sponsor us,
No.
like that shoe is amazing, bro. Like I use it pretty much everywhere, and they're stylish enough to like you can wear them like with multiple outfits and things like that. But yeah, if you're ever just looking for just like a nice shoe to put on, active recovery, it's like really good for the foot. It's called Canes.
They're inexpensive.
They're
It's
inexpensive
like $80
too.
bucks.
They're like 60 to 80 bucks. And they're like, they look like Crocs, but just nicer, like nicer Crocs. Very similar. Yeah. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but yeah, Canes are they're
I'll have
fire.
to look
So
into
checking into those, especially as much as
I
you're
love
like
Crocs.
working
and
out
that's
and
my
stuff.
I'm at home. They're good. You can go outside or whatever.
Yeah.
Go to the mall or whatever. I'm a Croc guy. Either
I think they're better than Crocs just because they do have that true back support.
Yeah,
rather
and,
than
their
Crocs
sole, and the
little-
sole is a sticker. It's like
yeah,
an
the
actual
sole sticker.
shoe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have to look into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super comfortable. But yeah, I was just wondering because you're always like lifting heavy and whatnot. So I was like, your
Yeah.
feet gotta hurt.
You know, I haven't had any feet issues. Like,
Really?
Like feet hurting or anything. I'm a flat squatter, so I do take a little bit more impact compared to some people who have the heels and stuff. But no, I really haven't had any feet issues, so I'm really blessed with that one. At least not yet. That's
Yeah,
probably-
no, for sure. Like
And as I'm getting older, I'm getting more aches and pains, and I'm like, okay, it's eventually gonna happen. Hopefully, nothing too serious, but yeah, nothing yet to this point. So I'm just gonna keep.
Does the cold weather kind of affect you?
It does. I'll have knee issues, not issues, but like
Just
more
kind of
aches and
pains. Yeah.
and
just
elbow.
like
I usually get a lot
minor
of forearm
things.
tendonitis and stuff. When
Yeah.
it's cold.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Like I have like shoulder things and whatnot. So yeah, that's crazy. Just thinking about like all encompassing and things like that. And is there like good prize pools and things like that when you compete, or is it more so just for like the achievement?
Really, the achievement. It's gotten big since COVID, to the point where there is like $40,000 meets. There's big
That's nice.
meets, but a lot of it too is that's the hardest thing is the what is it? They're in different classes type deal. There's
So it's like there's probably like amateur, pro. Is there like that kind of deal?
Yeah.
So like if you compete at the Arnold, obviously the
Yeah.
prize pool is gonna like the money pool like from first, second, third is gonna be a lot bigger than if you go to like a national Texas event.
Yeah.
Through like WRPF, you know?
Yeah, because with powerlifting, you just have to hit a total to qualify for nationals.
Okay.
So the total may not be too much, and your total is basically your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. The highest one you do in the competition that day. That's your total.
Okay.
So a lot of people go off a total, and that usually will qualify you for national meets or invitationals and stuff like that. So just because you qualify doesn't necessarily mean you belong. You need to go.
Okay.
Because you'll have Joe Schmo over here who he barely scraped the total and he qualified, and they'll take his money and go let him compete. But now he's competing, say 242 or 275. He's competing with the guy that's squatting $1,000 compared to he's over here squatting 500.
Wow. Okay.
And it's like, no, it's got a good community to where they're not going to sit there and be like, dude, what are you doing here? But it's kind of like, it's just because you qualify doesn't mean you necessarily need to go.
Yeah.
You need to kind of just take some more time, get stronger, compete, because nobody likes losing. And nobody likes showing up to a competition and you got somebody out squatting you by 300-400 pounds. It's just not fun.
Do you or what are your PRs for the three main lifts?
So my best squat I've done in competition is 821. My best bench was 450, and my deadlift is 660. I think the most I've ever done.
Nice.
So trying to
Yeah.
there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
You
Where
gotta
do you
try
like
to-
rank yourself like with all those weights? Are you in like the top 1% of natural deadlifters or whatever, however you want to?
No, because
it?
with the technology and the sport, how the sport's evolved over the last 5 years, 10, 15 years ago, if you were a raw lifter, there was maybe 1 or 2 people squatting 1,000. There's probably 3 or 4 squatting 900. Now you've got guys who are blowing 800 pounds out of the water left and right. 1,000 pounds is in a month, in a year or so of hard training. Now, mind you, the PEDs do play a part in there and all that, but like the massages they do outside of the gym, the eating, the cryotherapy, all those recovery things, compared to 15, 20 years ago, they're not doing that. So it's just all that plays part in how do you say it? Just the fact, I'm getting all over the place.
No, you're good.
I mean, too, just the research with like nutrition now, like the research that like universities have put out, that like doctors have put out, like, and that you actually have data to back the claims of like certain things in regards to your nutrition. Like one of my old workout partners, he has his master's in kinesiology, and like he trained with literally Olympic athletes. And I'm very fortunate to like have learned from him, but he was huge on like, okay, what are the like what does the data show? And so he was very like data driven with, okay, this is what I'm gonna do because the data proves so. And so you have more things coming out with that's backed by data to actually like give this good information, you know, versus like 10 years ago, we didn't have the technology that could give us the data to, you know, produce those results.
And the thing is too, like, we were talking about like the prize pools and like how expensive, or well, not how expensive, but like the prize pools and like the money not being, you know, at a certain level. But as you're mentioning, you know, not only mentioning, you know, probably recovery or if you're taking supplements, but food, you know, access to these gyms, these massages, whatever, like that's a lot of money on its own. So I guess for you, like, how has that been, like getting sponsorships or things like that to kind of help like offset those costs?
So in the past, I've been blessed enough to have sponsors on certain stuff. Now, mind you, they're not sending me a check compared to like other sports are, but they're sending me, you know, at once a month, I'll be able to get protein and glutamine or whatever for free. And that's, you know, that's $150 that I don't have to pay.
Exactly.
They've paid for my entry fees, which is $200 a meet. They've sent me, I've had a few people send me wraps, which are normally like $70 a pair, for your knees and stuff. So I've had sponsors in the past that have helped, but it's definitely a sport where you're giving out you're spending a lot more than you're getting in. You're gonna spend a couple $100 a prep for food, for supplements, for recovery, for the entry fee, and you're not gonna win anything at the meet. It's strictly just for enjoyment. Now, I'm not speaking for like the John Hacks and all those big name lifters that they're going to Miami once or twice a year and they're competing for 20 grand. Like that's a good prize pool for powerlifters. Bodybuilding used to be like that. Bodybuilding where only the pros were getting money. And now you got the amateurs that are big name guys like Sam Sulek, who if he jumped on stage, he'd probably get some money for something just because of the name, the social media aspect.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's a rough sport. You've got to definitely have a day job.
Yeah.
And you've got to just be mindful on what the spending cost is going to be, because it's, for a lot of people, they look at it and they're like, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to work out. And for me, I love competing. So that alone fulfills the void of I'm spending all this money to compete in something that I'm not going to get anything back. So hopefully, I'm hoping in the future, all the sacrifice of paying for supplements, paying for food, this and that is going to pay off to the point where a big name brand will pick me up and say, hey, I'm going to fly you to this meet. I'm going to cover you on this. I'm going to cover you on that. You just need to focus on squatting 900, a grand, or whatever. That's why I'm hoping that eventually happen. But if it doesn't, I'll be cool with it.
Yeah. One of the last things for me, which I'm glad I remembered because it's not on the notes, but how'd you get the name Ox?
So when I got back into the sport, the guy that took me over, he kind of showed me the ropes. He was an old 90s powerlifter. I always had the ability to I could eat one meal for the day, work work at my parents' house, and then go to the gym, and I'll still have the energy to go squat 500 pounds. And I always loved going heavy. And so the guy would always tell me, he'd go, "You're just a big ass ox, you know that?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Oxes are not the prettiest animals, but they're the ones that are out there in the field in the hot sun doing the farm work, because they always used to use oxes before they have cows. And so they were always using them. They're always going. They go on minimal water, minimal food. Like you don't have to let them go eat. They'll go work 10 hours a day, and then they'll just go hang out. So he always told me, he's like, "You're just a big ass ox." And I go, "Is that a good thing?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You just keep going. You just keep going. I don't see you really stop for water. I don't see you stop for anything. I mean, just a big ox." So they started calling me Ox, and it just kind of stuck. I liked it. I was like, "Oh, it's a cool nickname." So I put it on my social media, and then I can't move to Austin. Everybody was like, "What's your name?" And the guy who actually took me to Big Tex the first day, Jay, he's like, "Oh, this is Ox." And so it just stuck. Everybody was like, "Oh, what's up, Ox?" Even the owners were like, I'd call them and say, "Hey, I need to get something. This is Vincent." And they're like, "Who?" I'm like, "Ox." I'm like, "Oh, Ox, why didn't you say that? That's your nickname. Just go with it."
Yeah.
So all right, cool. So I got it through him, and it's just stuck, and it's kind of just took its own little.
Yeah.
It's a fire nickname.
Yeah, it is fire. And your chat is fire.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
Fire.
Yeah, it's fire. I mean, like you just when you think of an ox, you think of a big ass, strong ass bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing for me is what like made you want to start making content and like documenting your journey with all of this?
Bert did. I had Instagram. I had Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff like everybody else does, but I started really pushing the content on it through Bert. Bert was one who was like, "Dude, you need to grow. You have all these lifts from like, 'cause I record everything. You got all these heavy squats and from years and stuff." He's like, "You need to start pushing that out, pushing the TikTok, pushing your." I didn't start doing YouTube until he was telling me, like, "You can do it. It's not hard." But that's what really started pushing the top, getting more serious with the content, posting more, just being more up to date with it. And it's made a huge difference compared to where I was when I met Bert. Now it's like just light years away.
And now, like, I mean, because I like grew up watching like Bradley Martin and like seeing like his evolution from like where he is now to like now being basically a podcaster.
Yeah.
I think for, people like you or just wanting to document and make content, like now with social media and stuff, like the monetary aspect and, all it takes is a reel to blow up and hit a couple million views. And then you wake up and you have like 30,000 followers. And then you're having brands hit you up like, "Hey, like, we're going to send you this or let's work together." And then, it's just crazy how like it's just changed now.
Well, dude, what's crazy is how we started working together. I was the powerlifting meet that he was competing at. I went to go support a homie, and I was like, "Yo, like, let me." This was when I was still like working on building like my fitness portfolio. I was like, "Let me just get some pictures of you like doing your lifts, and that way you have some cool pictures after the meet." And I see this dude walk up to the bar, and he's got like, I couldn't even count how many red kilo plates he had on. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, I've never seen somebody squat this much, yet alone like in person. And so I was like, I'm just gonna get a video for him and send it to him. So I got his Instagram at the meet, and I was like, "Yo, like, good stuff, dude. Like, that's crazy." Because he squatted 807 like nothing. It was like 807, I think.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him. I was like, "Yo, like, this is impressive." And I was like, "I just want to make sure you have this." And then ever since then, he was like, "Yo, thank you." And then he hit me up and was like, "Does it look like working together?" And ever since then, now he's the homie, dude. Like,
That's fire. That's fire,
like,
bro.
The long story with that one is like he did the meet, and then I was actually a tune-up meet for my Vegas Nationals. Went to Vegas, competed. I had somebody else do a video, but it was a shady issue. But he got me the video and all, and I paid him and stuff. But I was like, I need to start doing this more regularly. And I remembered him, so I messaged him, and when I was in Vegas, I was like, "Yo, I'm back on Monday." I was like, "I want to meet up and talk. I want to just to do some videos and stuff." And it's been like 2 or 3 years later, still working together. And he's like pretty much like a good friend now and stuff. And
That's fire.
yeah,
That's fire, bro.
doors open up when you least expect it. So
Yeah.
Before we hit this off, do you have anything?
Yeah, actually, I know you mentioned your wife. Huge shout out, Cass, because
Big shout
she's a real one. And if y'all see like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, like I think it was really special to see you at y'all's meet, or at your meet, and how she was just making sure like you had everything that was like making sure you were good to make sure you could do what you needed to do on the stage. So huge shout out, Cass, because she was really holding you down that whole meet. But what is powerlifting? What's the biggest lesson that powerlifting has taught you for your life and also for your relationship?
When I first got in the sport, I thought it was just a me sport. I didn't need a team. I didn't need anybody else. It was just me. And then my coach picked up and moved back to LA like in a week's notice right before a meet, and I needed him to wrap my knees. And then we just started dating, and I was stressing out like 4 weeks out from a meet from a North Americans. And I was like, I don't have anybody that can wrap me. And when you get your knees wrapped, you have to. Some people like it a certain way. You can't just throw a wrap on and just go do it. It's got to feel good. It's got to be able. You got to be able to really. I say connect with the wraps. You got to be able to just understand them and stuff. And I had 2 guys rapping me, couldn't do it, and she's like, I can do it. Let me learn. She did watch a couple YouTube videos. She did it, killed it.
Wow.
First time squatting 800 that meet. And obviously we stuck it out. We're here, we're married and stuff, and she's been pushing me ever since. So you have to have a good support system, whether it's in the gym, at home, or training. And she's been more than, can't even say, I'm ranting and going.
More than words can describe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, that's the thing. That's where it changed my whole perspective on this whole thing. It's just, you got to have a good support system, and you got to just take it day by day, because I'm still trying to figure that out with the whole, you can have a bad lifting day and then tomorrow can become something completely different. So that's been the 2 things that really taking it back from this sport.
And I got one more. So for those who don't know what it's like competing at a powerlifting meet, you're literally pushing your body to the limit 9 times that day. And so, like, just kind of giving people a visual of what your day looked like. You were eating, like, Uncrustables, drinking Pedialyte, and, like, throughout the day, like, I don't even know how many Uncrustables you had and, like, how many bottles of Pedialyte you went through just to make sure you were hydrated. So what does the day after a meet look like for you? Do you sleep, like, 15 hours, 16? No?
No, because I'm so caffeinated on the day of the meet that I don't sleep that night. It's you feel like you got hit by a bus. You really do, because you're pushing your body. You're maxing out 9 times initially. I mean, it's like 6, but you're pushing your body over 80% of your max on those 3 lifts for 9 times. So your body is gonna hurt. I mean, so I try to sleep. I don't sleep. I don't usually sleep for like 2 days after. I mean, I'm sleeping and stuff, but it's not like a good sleep.
It's not a comfortable sleep.
It's not a comfortable sleep. So it's usually just trying to it's very mellow, just trying to come back down to earth and stuff, because caffeine, sugar and stuff, a lot of people like to do like candies and gummies and stuff, sugar and all that, it's usually keeping you real high up. So it's usually just trying to just mellow out and vibe and come back down to earth. I'll just usually sleep the next day after that, but that's usually after a meet.
And I actually got one more. You had mentioned you love movies earlier. What are, like, 3 of your favorite movies that you can, just right off the top of your head?
Rocky.
Which one?
Top one, number 1.
Okay.
My favorite movie of all time. Rocky 1, Godfather, and Scarface.
It's classics.
Classics.
All classics.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch out there, but to sum them up, I mean,
Can't go wrong with classics.
Yeah. One last thing for me, whenever you're working out, what's like your go-to genre or music artist that you're listening to?
it just depends on what mood I'm in for the day. If I'm coming in and I'm, in that hip hop mood, I'll throw on some Eminem and his old school stuff, or really whatever, Wu-Tang or whatever. And then if I know it's like a heavy squat or heavy pull, it's usually a lot of metal, a lot of just fast-paced metal and just there. But I can't do it like getting into the gym and just start 0 to 100. I listen to a lot of like mariachi music when I warm up. I don't know why. It's just something about that type of music that it's very, the instruments and stuff, it just keeps me in a good mindset, and it doesn't allow me to start digging into that energy tank before I'm even ready to go. Yeah. So that's usually how it is, like just vibing out, whatever mood I'm in.
And then Friday Night Lights.
Yep, and then that's my go-to, is the Friday Night Lights, Coach Gaines speech. But before I have an AMRAP or something, I love that movie. That's one of my top 10 movies of all time.
That movie is fire, bro.
I thought that was cool when you did that. I was like, damn, like seeing him get in the zone and actually like before a huge ass squat.
Yeah.
And I asked him afterwards. I was like, what were you watching before your lift? Mm-hmm. He was like, Friday Night Lights, Coach K's speech. And I was like, damn, that's dope.
That's fire.
And every time, like, I see him do it like multiple times, and like he's locked in, and it's cool to see.
Yeah.
Is that the Full Eyes, Full Heart Can't Lose? Is that one?
No, it's from the original movie with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
He's talking about.
Is that not in that movie?
Yeah, that's not that speech though. It's
he's talking about being perfect.
About being
and
perfect.
Oh,
his
yes.
heart's full and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that usually. I've never been a person that could sit there and just turn it on. Like some athletes they could just turn it on and they're like, okay, it's go time. I've never been. I have to like 4 or 5 sets before that. I have to turn it on, start getting that mindset, I change the music and I have certain songs that I'm locking in, and then that final squat, pull or bench, I've got that video and it just brings me back down a notch. It doesn't let me overdo it, but it brings me back down to the point where I'm like, I'm focused, I'm ready, and let's go. It does it every single time. I have it on one of my saved videos. That's my video to go to. So
fire.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do to lock in and get in the moment.
Yeah. And I've tried everything. I mean, I would put on like metal right about to go and I would like overdo it. Or I would try just relaxing, couldn't do it. I wouldn't be amped up enough. And then I get motivated from like Rocky movies or old Stallone movies or Arnold movies and stuff. So that was always the one that's like one of the movies that I get the most motivation from, but I'm going to cry like a baby at the end of it because it's just one of those movies that, I mean, if anybody played football in high school in Texas?
Yeah.
You just feel it.
Heartbreaker.
You feel it.
Yeah. So,
You understand. Another thing, one last thing for real this time.
I got plenty of time, so you want to keep asking, go ahead.
I know like you probably have like a strict like diet or rigorous whenever you're like, training or in prep. Whenever you're not doing that, what's like your go-to meal?
So my go-to food outside of like diet and it's pizza. I love pizza. I can eat pizza probably 7 days a week and not get tired of it. I love pizza.
What's your like what kind of pizza? And then like I guess like go-to place.
Yeah, I'm a pineapple and ham guy.
Really?
I love pineapple and ham.
Okay.
And then you can throw jalapenos on it. I like the sweet and the spicy. It's good.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
What's your go-to place?
What's your go-to place? Like where do you like to get your pizza from?
Probably. What is the one over there? What is the one in Liberty Hill? Double Dave's.
Double Dave's is fire.
Double Dave's is good. It's pricey, but it's good.
Do you ever go on Tuesdays for the $1 pizza rolls?
No, I can't.
I can't.
I
feel you. It's nice. You go in there with $10, get 10 pizza rolls, and you're good to go.
They raise the price on them a little bit. But
I've been there in a minute, but
I know it's like $1.50 now, $1.25.
Of course, inflation.
Yeah.
Those are good. No, they got good pizza. Like their holiday pizza, their Thanksgiving pizza is good.
You just had,
Bro, that shit was ass.
I like it.
That's funny as hell.
I mean, I think it's because Audra likes it, but she even said this year was different. And I think it's because the year before they had put like gravy on it.
Yeah.
So it was good. But I think they forgot the gravy on ours. And so it was dry as hell, bro. Like, it was bad.
It was good. I haven't had it in a couple years.
Okay.
Just diet and stuff. I can't, but yeah, that's one of my favorites.
there's a pizza spot that he told me about. I forgot. I don't remember what it's called, but my girlfriend and I ordered it one time. But it was that pizza and wing place that's like down the street from here.
Oh, that place is good. I forget what it's called. The one that me and Kat I forget what it's called. She would know, but
yeah,
it's good.
That place is fire.
I told you,
it's like a low key. It's like a low key spot.
Yeah,
but it's really
low
good.
key. Like it's not like
it's
really known.
good.
Yeah, we were on Uber Eats one time and Kat was like, I'm gonna try this place, and then she ordered it and we were like that's like our go-to.
Yeah,
that's fire.
It was really good.
Yeah, we usually would just do like HEB pizza or Double Dave's is getting pricey now, so we'll do like Domino's or something. I'm not picky with Domino's.
Yeah, Domino's is solid. It definitely has gotten better. It used to not be that good.
Yeah, there was a minute where it was not good.
They did a nice little rebrand.
Yeah.
I fuck with Little Caesars.
Little Caesars is good.
I've been a Little
I'm not
Caesars
even
in a
mad at that. Like,
I've been there in a
Caesars
minute.
is underrated.
Yeah.
Little Caesars are good.
For the
The
price,
crazy
too?
bread is crazy.
Yeah.
For literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
But again, like you said at the beginning, thank you for your time. Appreciate you doing this. I know it's was long overdue, and I'm glad we finally got to do it. And I'm glad we finally got to meet you.
Yeah, for sure.
Albert's talked so much about you over the years, so it's dope to actually finally meet you and see you in person.
Yeah.
When's your next competition? Do you know?
So I'm actually going to take a year, probably the rest of the year off, and maybe next year, March time. Just going to drop down some weight and let my body heal up and relax, and before we turn it back on towards the end of the year. It'll probably be next March or so.
Okay.
May have to get in some collabs with Bert's Belly and Ox doing some eating challenges. You know?
Yeah, that'd be fire. That'd be fire. Do you know where that is going to be
I don't
at
know
yet?
where it's going to be. I'm thinking San Antonio. It's probably be a local meet, but yeah, it won't be anything big. And then in the summer next year, it'll probably be like nationals or something, either in Vegas or wherever they decide to have it.
Do they ever have any here?
Yeah, they had it 2 years ago in San Antonio. The year after COVID opened up. So it was kind of small, but yeah, they had it in San Antonio.
Yeah, maybe we can go check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Never been to a competition before, so that'd be dope.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I'll have to invite y'all out to
set that
one of the
up.
local ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Again, like I said, thank you for taking some out your day. Thank you for supporting him and everything that he does. Thank you for bringing him on. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
But that'll do it for your boys over here at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Peace.